Hi everyone, this is Stephanie Manley with Copycat.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make French onion soup that tastes just like it does in a restaurant. All right, so today we are going to make French onion soup, and you know what? It's going to taste better than most restaurants. It's so incredibly easy to make and has so few ingredients that you'll be shocked and amazed at how easy this is to make. So, of course, we're going to start with some butter. We got about a half cup of butter here. We have 2 pounds of onions here. Now, I'm using white onions here. I like that they're a little bit sweeter than yellow, but you know what? If you only have yellow onions, use them. They're fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to use salt, a heavy dose of salt here. When we caramelize these onions, I'm going to use a couple of bay leaves here and a little bit of flour. And we're going to use 2 quarts of beef stock. I just bought this at the store, and if you have homemade, definitely use that. It's going to be a little bit better. And also in this soup, I'm going to use a little bit of dry sherry. I find that when you use this adds an incredible amount of flavor. And if you're not a person who drinks a lot of wine, you could use red wine in this. This is a great way to incorporate cooking with wine in everyday cooking because you know what? This isn't gonna go bad. This can sit in your refrigerator for a long time with just the cap on, and it's a really great ingredient to use. So let's go ahead and get started making our French onion soup. Okay, the first step in making a French onion soup, and it's actually the most critical step, is we're going to go ahead and brown our onions or caramelize them. So we have our butter in the pan, and we're gonna go ahead and add in our onions. And this is the step that honestly takes probably the most amount of time. So we have our onions and butter in here, and now we're just gonna give them a good teaspoon or so of salt, and we're gonna go ahead and let these cook up. Okay, so you really need to be sure to add the salt in here. It's really required to pull the water out of the onions, and it makes those onions nice and brown where the flavor is. So be sure to salt them liberally. You're gonna be adding a lot of stock. So per bowl, you're not gonna be getting tons and tons of salt, so don't worry about it. So we'll come back after these have browned a little bit. Again, 20-25 minutes for these to get fully nice and brown. So we'll show you them at about halfway and then what they should look like when they're done. Okay, so we're about halfway through. So you can see that these onions are nice and soft and they're getting tender, but again, we're only halfway through. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of garlic. I'm gonna add about 3 cloves. I'm not chopping them up because I don't want them to burn, and we're gonna add in a couple of bay leaves. We're gonna give this a stir, and we're gonna come back when these are nice and golden brown. All right, so our onions have browned perfectly right now. You can see they look like a completely different color than what we started out with. So now we're gonna add about a cup of the dry sherry, and we're gonna use this to kind of deglaze the pan a little bit. And we're just gonna scrape up the bottom and get on all of the nice brown bits off. We'll come back in just a second and we'll add the flour. So our wine's just about cooked out all the way. I'm gonna go ahead and add the flour. Now we need to cook this for just 1 to 2 minutes so the flour cooks through. This is gonna make the soup have a nice full body feel to it. So once this is cooked out, we're just gonna add in our stock and we're gonna let it heat up until it is up to a warm serving temperature. Okay, before we add the beef stock, go ahead and take out your bay leaves here. All right, so we're just gonna add in our stock now. Our mixture has cooked to a nice thick texture. We're just gonna put this up in, and then we're just gonna heat it until it is nice and warm. All right, so we have just made our French onion soup here. Now I put some in a fancy little bowl, stuck on a few slices of provolone cheese, and just popped that under my broiler for a few seconds. So to make it look just like you'd find it in a restaurant. So please be sure to give me a big thumbs up on this video. It sure helps me out a lot. Also subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our future recipes. Be sure to go to Copycat.com because this recipe is all written out for you. And thank you for watching.